A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's HIIT at home strength workout. We're gonna start with a warm-up. We have 2 sets of air squats, push-ups, and sit-ups. We got a classic air squat to start with. Drop those hips below knees. Focus on keeping those feet nice and flat. We're going through a full range of motion, nice and low, and then standing all the way up to being nice and straight again. After 10 reps, we're gonna go down to the floor for push-ups. Chest to deck. Push up, we want to make sure you make contact every time, keep tension in your hands, lock it out at the top. Now, our third exercise is sit-ups. These sit-ups touch the floor over your head, sit up, smack your chest against your thighs, and come on back down. This is one of our most classic warm-ups, squats, push-ups, sit-ups. It's great. If you ever need to get in a mini workout, do a couple rounds of 10 of those and you'll be in good shape. Now, our second part of the warm-up, we have single leg deadlifts, we have clam shells, and we have bear crawls forward and back. Now, we have single leg deadlift. Stand on one leg, we're gonna drop down to the floor and stand on back up. Take your time, focus on your balance, focus on your breath work, keep your core nice and engaged. Now, after 10 on each leg, we're gonna come on down to a quadruped position and we're gonna do clam shells. So you're gonna have to have your knees and your hands a little bit closer together than you're used to, and all you're gonna do is lift one leg straight out to the side and drop it back down to the floor. It is a relatively short range of motion. There is some twisting and that's okay, but we're working on those glutes to help stabilize the hip in its position. If you think about the shoulder, you have the rotator cuff muscle. You have 4 muscles that keep your shoulder in place. Here you have the glute medius and other rotators that help keep your hips in good health, and this works on those. Now, our third and final exercise is gonna be bear crawls forward and back. So what we're gonna do is go into that same quadruped position. We're gonna pick your knees up 1 inch off the ground. Now she's gonna shoot right arm and left leg forward and go back and back. So it is opposite. Right leg goes out, right arm goes out, left leg comes in, and then the opposite. You have step, step forward, step, step backwards in reverse. So we have 2 sets of single leg deadlifts, clam shells, and bear crawls. Now, it's time to move on to our strength portion for the day. We have a 9-minute strength phase. We have 3 exercises, each one for a minute, and we're gonna go through 3 times. Now, our first set is 40 seconds of weighted flutter kicks. So you're gonna hold that dumbbell straight up in front of you in a hollow body hold. You're just gonna move your feet up and down. We want the feet to stay relatively close to the ground, but the most important piece is that low back stays pressed into the ground. Now, if this is too easy, what we'll do is we'll back those hands up and make it a good bit harder. You can also make it easier by bringing those weights a little bit more forward. So you have 40 seconds of weighted flutter kicks, 20 seconds of rest. Now we're gonna go into a plank position. Face this way for me, Erica. She's gonna go into a plank position. Now, we're gonna place that dumbbell immediately behind the hand, and that's where it's gonna stay. So she's gonna reach across her body with her left arm. She's gonna drag it, put it down, and place her left arm back onto the floor. So as you can see, she's just gonna work through this pattern for 40 seconds, keeping the body nice and still. We're just reaching and pulling. It's a pattern that you wanna try and get used to. So we are reaching across, you're grabbing the dumbbell and returning to a normal plank position. After that, you have 20 seconds rest, and our last exercise is gonna be plain old mountain climbers. Hands on the ground, shoulders over top of the hands, and you're just gonna kick those feet in nice and fast. It's okay in this sense to let the hips drift up a little bit higher to allow those knees to come back in. So you have weighted flutter kicks for 40 seconds, then 20 seconds rest. Then you have dumbbell slides for 40 seconds, 20 seconds rest, and 40 seconds of mountain climbers, 20 seconds rest, and we'll repeat that pattern until you've done 3 full rounds. Now, after your 9 minutes of strength, it's time to do our conditioning. We have a 12-minute workout, as many rounds as possible of 20 dumbbell hanging high pulls. Then we have 10 up downs and 10 front squats. With those dumbbells, the hang high pulls are gonna look a lot like an RDL. So you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna put them together, thumb side touching. You're gonna drop down till the hands get to the level of the knees. You're gonna stand up and pull and lower back down. So these moves should go by relatively quickly. Every time you go up, you can see those elbows are driving nice and high up by her ears, and then she goes right back down. Think about it as a kipping upright row. You should be able to get a lot of weight in and a lot of reps relatively quickly. Then we're gonna put those dumbbells down. We have regular old bodyweight up downs. Hands down, feet out, feet in, stand. Out, in, and stand. These should be a nice, fast-paced exercise, just like the hanging high pulls. Now this is where we slow things down a little bit. We pick those dumbbells back up, they go to your shoulders, and we have 10 front squats. Good, just like in the warm-up, we drop all the way down below parallel and we stand up nice and tall. So as many rounds as you can of 20 hanging high pulls, 10 up downs, and 10 dumbbell front squats. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day.